Thank you for tuning into The Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and the interdimensional seer. Together they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources regarding many influences on our planet today. Our new format allows you to ask questions and hear the answers from the previous show. Post your question in the comment section below the YouTube video. Disclosures, insider intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for Disclosures. We have Peter the Insider here with me as a co-host, and we are also joined by James Rink from Super Soldiers Talk. And I'm really excited. We have everyone together. We're going to be answering some questions. We're going to get updated about everything that's going on recently. And so without further ado, we're going to go right into it and not waste any time. So we're going to start with hello, James. How are you? Thanks for being here today.
And thank you, Jessica, for inviting me. And also we have Peter, the Insider, here.
Hello. People, it was quite difficult to meet four of us. And the stuff is technically, we got a lot of questions. I don't know, it's like 40, maybe 30, maybe 40, I don't know. Some of them are outdated because we talked about the stuff so many times. I don't know if we will be up to deal with them, but why the hell not?
Right.
And we definitely need to talk about the recent stuff because things they looked like random are definitely not random. And I think that it is, it is part of the pattern, as it was mentioned many times in French, in TV, sci-fi TV show French, that it looks like random stuff, but it's part of the pattern that things that they are presented like it's not a big deal and everything is fine, definitely is big deal, and definitely it is important, and they are not just coincidences, So I just want to make this statement in very beginning of the show.
Well, that's great, Peter. I know that people have been holding on, waiting to hear what's going on. And one of the bigger incidences that occurred that people have been asking about is what actually happened that time when the rabbit showed up and there was AI and the Alice AI showed up, and there was some really strangeness that occurred, and we really didn't hear much from you after that. So they just wanted to hear what happened and how did that affect things?
Yeah, the stuff is actually that there are some weak spots. They started because technically it always was a weak spot. I'm talking about Bermuda Triangle, right? But because of Philadelphia experiment, they enweaked it much more. We are talking about like 1,000%, so it's more like 10 times, and the stuff is that such weak spots, I'm talking similar, and it's weird. What is it was the weirdest one, they are triangles too. starts to appearing all around the world for last almost 6 years, because I'm talking about since 22nd December 2012. And the stuff is that why I am talking about this, that such strange stuff, that, for example, there is no room and no roof on certain houses, and it happened in Central Asia, in South Africa, right, and all kind of stuff. Or there are huge holes in the ground, and, for example, there is no railroad in Australia. It's normal railroad, and there is simply nothing, and just because, without any logical explanation, and a huge, extremely long ass train needs to brake with this fast brake, and all around the world are very crazy things happening. TV reporters, journalists make reports. They made reports, and those reports just vanished. Nothing. And they were up to publish it, and it wasn't, how can I say that, vanished because some sort of violence. They were just, that's the stuff. They created a community on Facebook, and those Facebook community was deleted too. And give me a second, Jessica, would you be so kind and mute your mic, because some strange noise came out of your mic. Yeah, it will be much better. Thank you. So, and this Facebook group was deleted, and the stuff is that what's so, how can I say that, crazy, that because once something on Facebook is deleted, bye bye, end of story. What was so weird, that the news those reporters sent to the group was visible, but only for them, because technically the group was deleted. And that's crazy, because once something is deleted, yes, of course, Facebook has their own backup servers, but it is not visible for the Facebook user too anymore. And such crazy stuff is happening all around the world. And the stuff is that Alice, respectively, I don't want to say Alice herself, but let's call her, Android-ish version of her, is appearing all around the world and seduce the people, because who don't wanna help the young girl? Tell me, who? She's so cute, and no one is just, it's normal. How can a little girl harm me? There is no reason to be afraid that a little girl will harm me. It's bullshit. And then, bad stuff happened, So and of course, all around the world, there were many articles but that's it. local news. I'm talking TV stations on local shows, radio stations too, local newspapers, always White Rabbit. But I'm talking about the ones they are like, extremely wide and with red eyes. So that's it. Like albinos, So that's it. And as we are able to see, it is from another reality when there is not fourth but fifth Reich, and they are doing their I cannot I don't want to watch for language their own shit, and they are cloning. How can I say that? Once you wanna clone this with that, and it's so twisted, so wicked, that you are creating monsters because genes got out of control for many years. It's something like umbrella story, but I don't know if we want to talk about umbrella story, because technically it will take way too much time as we wanna. But I just want to tell people who don't know umbrella story that they are a private company as a contract, one of five, maybe sixth largest DoD. I'm talking like Department of Defense, of course, US. Department of Defense contractors, and they are creating what? Biological, chemical, and biochemical weapons. And they, mixed those genes way too much. They made wicked stuff, and those mixing get out of their control for, I don't know, we can talk last 30, maybe 35 years. So it's crazy, believe me, it's crazy. And those white rabbits, and that's the stuff. In TV show Fringe, they were observers. And try to think, observers were old men, they were all bald, and they have these old school hats, And the stuff is that, and that's the problem. We believe, we have no certainty. We believe that they created some sort of variation of those observers, and they made variation of them in these white rabbits. That's crazy.
That makes sense, because I do see old men on occasion, and I'm wondering who they are. I can remote view them, or they're doing. I look at something and it looks like a rabbit or something like that, but I have seen that before. And who are those men? Where are they coming from? And is that the Fifth Reich?
Yeah, yes, and that's the problem technically, because they looked almost like their clothings, like from 50s, late 50s, early 60s, and those typical hats, suitcases, very old school, old style, and they are not. They don't wanna talk. They are just doing the sight is very unpleasant, so deep. You are very uncomfortable once once they are looking at you. I don't want to say to your eyes or to your face. No. You are able to feel their look on your body. It's very uncomfortable.
Peter, can you tell us who the Fifth Reich is? Because we've heard about it. We know the Third Reich.
No. I'm talking about Fifth Reich, because technically Fourth Reich is what the group of those 5 or 6, it's always maybe 7, it doesn't matter at all right now, this small group of private military contractor companies, my bad, because companies, I don't know companies, but corporations, they are doing in technically turning US and Canada into, because they wanna erase the border, official border between US and Canada, and they wanna rule it.
Yeah.
They wanna rule it, and technically that's the stuff that, for example, they got the knowledge. For example, from I'm talking especially about special army units. French Foreign Legion, they are training their soldiers in deserts and in rainforests. So how can I say that? I don't want to say one, but 2 types of extreme climate, extreme weather conditions, and Scandinavian states, respectively Russia, they are doing the same with their own special army units, but in opposite climate, so extremely cold and all kind of stuff. And they paid so much money that they get knowledge from both of them, and they are able to do, because technically, for example, once it will be one huge state, respectively republic, because state in US it's state, so with different meaning, because the US it's consists like 50 states. They will be able to train their soldiers in extremely hot climates in the south, and extremely cold climate in the north. That's tough. So this is because technically common people believe that those private corporations were turning US to Fourth Reich, but no, this is not true, because technically they are up to erase the border between US and Canada, and they are up to turn both of those states to Fifth Reich. That's a big difference,
So Peter, I had a vision where it looked like Mobius was working from Canada and trying to take over the U.S. And then I saw Monarch coming up from South America, conflicting with them, and they were both trying to dominate. It looked like that, but I don't know what it was.
Technically, you are not right. Technically, you are not right, because technically, what they wanna do is to, and that's very smart tactic, at least because I worked for many years like in army tactics and those kind of stuff. That's very smart tactic, because what they are trying to do is pretend conflict, and they
okay.
Then they will be like, oh, help us, because technically Canada, it's like in Commonwealth. That's the reason, like Federal Army of Canada and Federal Army of Commonwealth. Technically, it's very different meanings, but the abbreviation FAC is the same. So technically, hey, help us, the Americans wanna, invade us. And that's bullshit, because Britons will help them, but another parts of NATO will help them, and that will be the stuff, because they will be able to copy all the techniques I'm talking about, like machinery and all kind of stuff. And of course, how can I say that, like modus operandi, how the European and all kind of another armies are working. I mean, the tactics and all kind of stuff. And go ahead.
They're creating chaos.
Yes, of course, chaos. Try to think about Thule. What was the basic idea of Thule? Chaos first. They will get a lot of good stuff. They will gain how can I say that? They will gain the property and the money and all kind of stuff, the power from creating chaos, because technically who was making the largest business with Nazi Third Reich before the Second World War started? It doesn't matter that they were Jewish, the Hebrew people. No, it doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter that they were in the US. No, it doesn't matter. They were member of Thule. That's the stuff. And after all the chaos began, and I'm talking about Second World War, the same was continuing, and after that stopped. And there was Marshall Plan, like renewing Europe, blah, blah, blah. Thule still works on that. And that's the same tactic. Like 80 years, I don't want to say 70, 80 years, and nothing changed. Nothing. They are smart. But people are so blindfolded that they don't get it after so many years. They don't get it. It's so crazy.
How do you spell that? Is that Thule?
Yeah.
Okay. Is George Soros part of that organization?
Yes, but he's only pedestrian. He's so low. He's like a pedestrian. He think they make him think he's rich and powerful. My friend. He's only random pedestrian in this whole huge machinery, if you want to call it this way. It's so crazy. Oh man.
But there's a lot of people that they put in the front lines to make it look like they're the ones that are in control, but behind it are these puppet masters, like you said, the Fifth Reich. Where do these guys come from, this Fifth Reich? Are they from the corporations, or where are they from?
Yes, they are from those private corporations. What is the problem? This is a real problem. That they are, you are not right. They are not people. They are not from mankind. They are outer space, if you want to call them that way. They are ETs.
From where?
From where? We don't know. Because technically, they are not ETs either. So I am talking not 100% right, because technically they are hybrids. So yes, of course, they are hybrids. Non-people, non-man hybrids, but they are outer space hybrids, so hybridized that even they will be not able to say where they are from.
But they make themselves look humanoid.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're not android, are they? There any android in them?
No. Technically, they are shapeshifters. Shapeshifters, and they are doing crazy stuff to the people.
What do they want?
to do what they are like to do, and that's the stuff. It is those things like, you know, to do what we like to do. And that's the stuff. It was, or sorry, my bad. It is refrain of one very famous song. Maybe I will remember, because they are hiding it. For example, they are hiding the truth as they are hiding the truth, and this is it. Only to sci-fi TV shows, movies, video games, respectively comics. They are hiding the part, of course, part of the truth to songs lyrics. For example, very popular song of ABBA. You know, not a coincidence, because they are from, you know, from Sweden. So typical Nordics. The name of the game, because once something is up to happen, I mean something big in the patterns, plot thickens, everything will twist, something. It is name of the game. You will hear that. For example, just random people will come across, and you will hear, this is name of the game. You know, you were like, what? Are you serious? And everything is twisted just because of, just like that. You know, this is what I'm talking about. This is crazy.
So we talked about ABBA music being used heavily with Monarch, and I have had clients tell me that they've heard the song randomly when they woke up.
Yeah.
Like they're hearing it in their dream space. So they were getting mind controlled of some sort. Is that correct?
Yep. Yep. This is crazy.
Yeah. So, all right. So the Fifth Reich. James, did you have any questions regarding the Fifth Reich? I mean, this is kind of a new thing for us.
So as far as the Republic of the Commonwealth / Federal Army of Canada, is that a part of this Nazi group, or Mobius, or are they all connected? Cyborgs too.
Technically, why should we talk only as a Nazis? Let's call them Tulril. Tulril. I am talking about like TULE and YRAL. So I merge them together, because real were real Damen. What's in German, Damen means ladies. So I merge them together, and I call them Turil. So technically, because Nazis, they made up Nazis, you know, Nazism, fascism, and all kind of those stuff as some sort of coverage for those their purposes and all kind of stuff. And technically, they made horrible things to random people. And that's the stuff that they are, and they were, and they still are experimenting with people. And once I'm talking about the private companies, right? Once there was, you know, how can I say that, something positive, then those people were kicked from those corporations. They were kicked from those corporations, and they were happy people once they are still alive. This is some next level shit, believe me. Holy crap.
So Peter,
is Monarch part of this group?
Oh, Monarch are very bad. Yeah, believe me. But for example, Kruger are not bad. Kruger Corporation, they are not bad.
Peter, who's actually in charge then? If you have 5 Reichs, who's actually in charge? Who's calling the orders?
That's the question. That's the question. Believe me or not, even we don't know.
I want to mention in the other parallel reality that the Nazis won World War II, Hitler personally killed Paul Serene, according to the Monarch girls. Who
But tell me that's because Paul Serene, believe it or not, Paul Serene is way much worse. Way much. He's so worse. My bad. So bad that even Hitler is a very good man. Impossible, right? Impossible, but it's true. So technically, good or bad? Tell me. You tell me. Good or bad?
more like a shade of gray for all of them.
Yeah, if you wanna take this from this perspective, then why the hell not? That's holy crap! That's some next level shit. Oh.
So it's not like one faction within that group can just co-op all the other ones and just take everything over. It's more like everybody is pretty much working in unison for the same agenda.
Yeah, that's true. But Paul Serene is crazy, man. Because technically he loves to play with people's memories. He loves to molest people, and believe me that it is not physical pain. Is, how can I say that? I know that people don't believe me or something, but physical pain is not so not so crazy. What will drive you insane is memories of something what actually never happened. I'm talking about bad memories.
I was wondering whatever happened to Kevin Spacey.
Give me a second. I'm talking about, for example, TV. Not TV show. It was movie from 80s with Arnold Schwarzenegger. What it was like, Total Recall, because technically there were memories. They never happened. I'm talking about real life. And try to think about very, very bad stuff. I'm talking like physical molesting, psychic, pressuring, and all kind of stuff. So I'm talking about this. This is absolutely crazy. Very much very much worse than physical molesting. This is some next level shit. And people don't believe me.
I think if you can get into someone's head and you could do some serious damage, and it's a very cruel, horrible thing.
This is
a lot of clients that have talked about it because they don't know if it's real or it's not real, and what's happening in the dream space is very disturbing.
Yes, it's some sort of like deepest level of some subconscious, and they are so deep that there is only limbo, and you are like, huh, what's real and what's where is the border between being real and what's dream? That's this what I'm talking about.
And some of them feel like they're actually participating in some very bad things, but they said that they try to stop themselves, like they don't want to be a part of it, when I think they're doing is having someone look like them and play it out, but it's making them confused about whether it's them or not. And these are people that are here to help the planet, and they're trying to discourage them.
Because for example, they are 6, at least what we know was 6. It's Kruger, they are good ones. Ultimate are good ones. Shoreline are good ones, and very bad are Monarch, Trinity, and Umbrella. But there are the other one, even we don't know the name. And what they did, those people will die without feeding the products. People like, of course it's normal, we need to eat, to drink, blah, blah, blah. No, they don't need to eat, to drink. They need to feed themselves from, neon, respectively, what are those, LED lights, from smoke or something. This is crazy. They turned them into monsters because they have powers, abilities. They are very complicated to get under control and all kind of stuff. It's crazy because we were facing those people and desperately trying to help them, and they gave us those codes. They were like coordinates, but it's not so easy that like, okay, kid, this is coordinates, like GPS. Oh, no. It was very very complicatedly, encrypted, and that's the stuff. And those people, we believed that they died, and they were not dead. It was some coincidence, and there was like neon lights or like LED lights, and they breathed and they came back to life. I was like, what the heck is that? And there is series of video games too, Infamous, Second Son, First Light. I don't know like that. Infamous First, Second, and all kind of stuff. And people don't like, what the heck is going on with those people? It's crazy.
So it's a group that is taking humans and they're depriving them of food. Is that and torturing them in some way?
No. They told us that they were never eating, never. And that's true actually, because they are those kind of 1 month kids, so technically 9-day pregnancy and 21 years in 21 days. So they will be like 21 and then stop aging, and they don't need to eat. Just do what they want to do. They need to do. It's crazy. And they have crazy powers. They have crazy powers. For example, we need a sample, a soil sample. And now the problem, give me a second, just 2 miles, just 3.5 kilometers, so it's more than 2 miles. And you are, okay, but this will take some time, and give me a second. And they they get underground, and there's like in more or less than 1 minute, and she was back with sample of soil, and I was like, what the fuck are you did? It was crazy. So they have such a crazy powers, but and they described us the crazy torturing, how they messed up their insides, so they because of that they don't need to eat, any normal food, don't need to drink any normal beverages and all kind of stuff. But we as organization, myself, we need to stop it. I don't like it. Why sorry for language, but why they fucking hurt innocent people? And that's another question. Who gave them right to do this? No one. If there is any God, any Allah, any Jehovah, why? These random people don't deserve this. No.
It's horrible.
Yes, that's the problem.
Are these my labs?
Yes.
Yeah. Those. Well, who is behind the my labs? Not just the government, but behind.
No.
Corporations.
You don't get it. Hybrids. And do you know what's their problem? They are pretending that they are, Übermenschen in German language, like highest people, because they know that they are, sorry for language, that they are bastards, that they are so mixed, from so many races. They cannot be any certain specific race.
Wow.
That's the problem.
What is the ACIO able to do anything to monitor or?
We can monitor them, but they have so advanced technique that they can do whatever they can, and we can be happy. I know that it's not the stuff what you wanted to hear, but we can be happy that they are only observing what they caused, and once it's up, once everything went well, just they disappear.
All right. So how do people protect themselves from these my labs?
That's the question. I have no goddamn clue. And do you know why? Because there is a pattern, but it's so complicated that we cannot, we cannot be so 100% sure if this is, if this will be their next step.
So,
sorry,
is it getting worse than it was before? I'm just trying to sort this through in my head.
Definitely, way much worse.
What is the target group they're looking for? Is a certain age group, young kids, older people?
That's the problem. From 3, 4 to 7, 8.
Yeah, very young.
Yeah, but technically they are not some random children. They are targeting, and that's the problem. We don't know, because for any specific, for certain specific purpose, they are, how can I say that? They are targeting very specific, like, DNA profile. That, okay, the ancestors of this child are very wealthy. And do you know what I mean? Very healthy, all kind of stuff. There are no, how can I say that? There are no, no such problems with, I don't know, with liver, or there is nothing like cancer. Do you know what I mean? Nothing like that.
Are they looking for people that have abilities and gifts? So they
Yes.
more targeted, yeah.
Especially mental. And what's very interesting, that not only healthy, like with no diseases, illnesses, diseases, but intelligent, like not intellectual, intelligent, but with not EQ, like mental, emotional intelligent, but EQ. I'm talking about IQ. My bad. I'm talking like those. How can I say that? Cold intelligence. But because, for example, very high IQ can have people with very slow, very low. With very low level of autism, serial killers, so that's the stuff. Once you have a high IQ, it doesn't matter that you are good, respectively, that you can use. You can be useful. How can I say that? Useful, but technically it's a stuff, because you can be useful to yourself. Do you know what I mean? So good, I'm talking about evil people, and useful for yourself, I'm talking about once you are suffering from autism, that will be complicated to get along with other people, and on one hand, and you are practically out of normal life or other hand. So that's the stuff. This is crazy. Jesus.
Wow. James, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just wondering, after Kevin Spacey was accused of, not really just accused, but when it was discovered that he's involved in the gay sex accusations, apparently he checked himself into a clinic for sex addiction, but then he disappeared and nobody knows where he is.
Yeah, and try to think why. I need to interrupt you, James. So sorry for that. But the homosexual relationships, you are able to gain like from 20 to 40 score, IQ score, just because of homosexual relationship. This is crazy. This is, sorry for language, but this is fucking crazy.
Can you please explain how you figure that it's the case?
No, myself, no. It's from like statistics, from, how can I say that, what they were able to get from praxis. especially women that they are lesbian. That this is crazy.
Peter, it wasn't just that he was gay, it was that the people were underage, wasn't it?
Yes, but technically that's the stuff. It is problem or it is not. I don't know if it was like that or not, but those people
looked like a teenage boy or something that they had video footage of.
Yeah, but I'm talking about that they presented that it was, how can I say that, like it wasn't violated. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't rape.
That he consented.
Yeah. This is it.
That's how they get around it, but still, I mean, a child is a child, or underage is underage.
So the question is, like, where is he? Because he's been missing for a year. Is there a conspiracy, or is he hiding out in the Cook Islands? Or
no, he's not in this reality anymore.
And where is he?
If anybody knows, that will be good.
So who how did he leave the reality, through Mobius, or did they rescue him, or
Yeah. Through the
Monarch?
Mobius.
I mean,
No. Through the Mobius.
oh,
So that why do they want to rescue him? Because apparently he's connected to Monarch. So what does Mobius gain by rescuing Kevin Spacey?
information maybe.
He's just a clone. He's not the original.
You are technically not right, because Mobius and Monarch, those two corporations are cooperating for many years.
Then they help each other.
Yeah, you are right.
But different ones know, like Mobius and Monarch know different pieces of information, though, don't they?
Yeah, but how can I say that? It is like a puzzle. So try to think. You have the same, how can I say that, aim, the target. You have certain part, another one have another part, respectively parts of puzzle. Why the hell you don't wanna help each other? You will be stupid.
Yeah.
So
maybe you don't agree with me, but I think because it looks like that it looks like they are doing this, and the stuff is that it is working for them.
Yeah, it makes sense. Go ahead, James.
no, I think he answered the question about Kevin Spacey quite clearly. We can move on unless you wanted to throw anything else about him. Of course, he is the clone of Paul Serene, the head of Monarch Solutions. People who don't know.
Yeah, but technically people don't believe that.
I agree, but that's why we're here listening to you to get the truth.
I need to ask you, because I don't know how it is in US, that how mainstream media are, what they are thinking about alternative media. How it is in US?
Well, they don't like it. They're trying to ban us and deplatform or shadow ban.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and do you know why I'm asking? Because in Slovak and Czech Republic, so technically my homeland, after I because it was like, okay, this is like you can do what you can do, and you can talk about everything, whatever you like. I'm talking about inner and foreign politic situation, blah blah blah. But once I came to the SVCS, what means Československý svobodný vysílač, it's something very strange as revolution freedom slips. Jessica, would you be so kind and mute you, because it's, yeah, thank you. And I was started to, because once I did something, I talked about many things, for more than 2 years. Everything was fine. But once I started to talk about John Cusack murder, what is absolute bullshit, that one powerful and rich Slovak businessman, as we can call him a local oligarch, that he ordered his murder and blah blah blah, what is not true. They started, mainstream media started to accuse alternative media that they are telling bullshit, that they should be permanently banned from Slovak and Czech web space and all kind of stuff. Because not only myself, but another sources from like, you know, I'm talking about Slovak and Czech secret services, army intelligence services, have very similar theory to my theory that Monarch and Umbrella ordered his murder because he was up to get public about their private underground bases. And that's what is positive confirmation, of course, because there were many sources. I know them, very, very, good friends of mine, and that's the problem. So once mainstream media start to attack us as they did, there is nothing more than positive confirmation. So tell me, people, what's wrong with those mainstream media? What's so wrong with them?
Was this Jan? This journalist was his first name Jan, I think.
Yeah, Jan, but technically it's Ian in order to be best way how to pronounce it in English language. But John is correct translation of her name Jan in Slovak language.
And he had what, photos of Monarch underground bases?
No, you are not right. Not only photos. He has hundreds of thousands of photos, hundreds of hours of video footages, audio recordings. It was crazy. There were like, I don't know, 25, maybe a group of 25, maybe 30 people. They were cooperating about this disclosure. And once in the day when the disclosure will be up, all of them, some of John and another ones simultaneously was killed. My bad, they were killed. And another of them in 1 week period, so 1 week after murder, like 8 or maybe 10 disappear like out of nowhere, like, out of Earth's surface. It was crazy.
And but you still have those photos and videos.
That's the problem. No, I don't have. I have something of that, and we have many of it on our backup servers, but I don't know what's their problem. So because technically why don't
you release it to the public?
Because people are not prepared to see this.
Well, we are.
No. I'm talking to common people, not only in Slovak and Czech Republic. I'm talking to about people all around the world. Try to think.
Well, what would happen if you showed the information?
Hey, try to think as a common man or women. Try. For, I don't know, 90, maybe 95% of them, even the George Soros, like one of the wealthiest and the most powerful man who is, how can I say that, able to change the governments through the protests and all kind of stuff. Even this idea is big conspiracy, and they don't believe this. So how we will be not able to do this? The whole regime, everything will collapse. We don't want to make chaos. No, this is not our goal. No.
Well, I think there's a good segment of the population that knows that they're being lied to, that things are being covered over, and that they're being distracted through false flags. So it's even with ETs, they're in denial that ETs exist. And so, you know, when you discuss even the ACIO, they're like, oh, yeah, you know, like it's ridiculous. The whole concept to them of aliens, because the governments have been hiding this information for the longest time. I mean,
Yeah, and do you know, do you know what's so crazy? That in France they have their own institute, official institute, cooperating with government about UFOs and ETs, and you have a hotline 24/7 in Czech and Slovak Republic both. You can talk, you can call, you can talk, and you can there is a like mailbox. You can send, I don't know, photos, video, or audio footage, because our Ministerium of, you know, Internal Affairs, they created that because our Minister for Internal Affairs and Minister of Internal Affairs in Czech Republic too, they have their own personal, you know, experiences, and that's the case why they created that. But how many people in Czech and Slovak Republic knows about it? Practically 0%. If I was able, like 1 promille, you know, because people don't care about that. That's crazy.
But they do. They're aware that all of this stuff exists, and it's getting to be really obvious to even the average person that there's something else going on. I mean, they're not that stupid, even though they're essentially, you know, somewhat mind controlled through the media and through other means. You know, they still have enough awareness that a lot of these things aren't right. And so I think at some point the information needs to just come out. Who is completely monitoring the media? I mean, it's really ridiculous. And I don't want to get into this topic but the whole thing, the coverage of California was, you know, so off by the media that everyone started looking to alternative media and seeing pictures and everything else.
Yeah, but technically, you know that they were not regular fires, but technically they were up to destroy the evidences.
Right. So, but people are becoming more and more aware of it. Like the 9/11 thing, they're still talking about it. They're still looking at alternative media. They're still trying to find out. And that's why, you know, James has been on air for I don't know how many years, and, you know, people wait. They want to hear what's going on. And, you know, it's other shows like James that are trying to provide information to the public. And, you know, I'm kind of new in this arena, but, you know, and thanks to you, you're kind of giving a very, you know, the backstory of everything that's really going on. And so, you know, people know this, and that's what they're finding us. And they're finding, you know, the outlets of where we're providing information, because people are looking. They really know that there's something wrong. And it's just, to me, it's going to be so obvious. It's going to be common knowledge that they're going to, you know, they're stopping. I'm sure there's a percentage that has just shut off televisions. They're no longer listening to mainstream media anymore, and they're searching for information elsewhere.
Can I mention something, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
Facebook has been, and Twitter, a lot of social media websites have been having a lot of outages, which I believe are probably in preparation for a social media blackout, perhaps when these changes take place. And Trump just actually announced that he wants to do his own worldwide television network because he can't stand CNN. So is that sort of
give me a second, James. This is you mentioned three things. You mentioned only two things, but there is a third thing you mentioned, and it's hidden. So CNN is not, how can I say that, objective. The second thing is they wanna make the worldwide television because it's Rupert Murdoch's family. They owned all. They pretend they owned all the media. What's not right, because
I thought Murdoch owned Fox News.
that's not true. They looked like they own all the medias, but technically they were forced to sold all kind of those stuff to very rich and powerful people in China and Russia. And as we know that for example, there is trade war, if you want to call it this way, between US and China, and there are very controversial stuff between US and Russia too. And that's not true, because for example in Fox, I don't want to say Fox News, but there were, my bad, the most popular things about like TV shows and TV movies released directly by Fox, and those TV shows and movies, sci-fi of course, they released the most, the core, the basic part of the truth. Do you know what I mean? And that's the reason, because for example, as I mentioned, True, Trump, regular, the genuine one, was replaced in 1976. Do you know what I mean? Because I think that I mentioned that, or not?
He was a walk-in, an ET walk-in.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, well, so did we go over that point, the direction you want to take it?
Yeah, I think that it's, I'm talking about, for example, Fringe. I'm talking about Warehouse 13 and many other things, because they are smaller TV stations owned by 21st century, technically, like 20th century Fox. It's so crazy. Okay.
Peter?
Yep.
I'd like to get updated with, we do have a bunch of questions here, but I know that, we're going to have time to
That's the problem, because most of those questions are outdated, if you want to call it this way.
Well, one of them that I thought was very interesting was the question.
So start to ask.
Okay, great. There was a question here that I was looking at. People are getting, a Plume asked a question about, there's a strong high-pitched air ringing sound many of us are hearing right now. Do you have any information on that? And I would like to know. It's been bothering me for quite some time, she said, or he said.
High pitched. You mean like, for example, like machines on the construction side, and it's so. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, I think they're hearing it at night
Yeah.
when they try to go to sleep. And I also, I'm waking up and my whole body is shaking. So I don't know, is this directed energy stuff or
Yeah,
what's going
but
on?
the energy, it should cover right people, and that's the stuff. Right for what? No one knows, because it's part of the pattern.
Trying to, and in doing this, what are they actually doing? Are they neutralizing people or are they
No. They are targeting people.
to hurt them physically?
No.
To communicate with them?
No, neither. Not neither. They are targeting people to get their children.
Okay, but what if there's no children in the house?
No, to their children and their relatives. If they don't have children, then they are targeting their closest relatives possible. I'm talking about next generation, under the age 7, 8, 10 at least, at the most. My bad.
Okay.
What do they want them to do?
Once again,
These children?
to take over, to get them into the underground bases and do their shit.
Well, occasionally I hear a ring in my ear, but I live alone. So how would that even relate to any of my family?
No, I am not talking about the ringing. I am talking about those specific, very crazy sound you can hear practically all around the world. It looks like once you will be in construction side, it's like it's something like that, and you cannot get away from this. You can go everywhere, and you cannot get out of the reach of this. Once you are hearing it.
It seems like it gets inside of your ear, or like
Mm-hmm.
when I wake up, my whole body is vibrating. It's just like it's weird. It's a weird frequency.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not comfortable. And I've moved around quite a bit, but it seems to it catches up with me. I don't get it right away, and then after a little while, it catches up. So it could also be that I was thinking of the 5G that is being installed everywhere too.
Yeah, through the 5G you can hear those kind of stuff also.
Can we? Go ahead.
Should we move on to the next question?
Yeah. Did you have a question? Because I was going to ask what the update was with the androids. How many are there? Where are they at?
That's the problem, because technically more than 500,000 of new inhabitants in the last half year, from June this year, came to Detroit, and it's crazy because there are no no work. There is no work, nothing.
A friend of mine, he goes to have coffee every day. He lives in Detroit, and he goes to this coffee shop called Tim Hortons. And there was a man there that was acting like he was homeless, but he says he doesn't look homeless. Like, if you look at him, his teeth are perfect. His skin looks good. He doesn't have the smell like someone that doesn't bathe very often because they're homeless. and he sits in the restaurant and he doesn't drink or eat anything, and no one tells him to leave. So there's just some weird things happening around him, and he lives there.
Yeah, because technically, Detroit is for last, I don't know, 4 maybe 5 years. Once the economy crashed there, it's like Chernobyl or Fukushima. No one's wants to live there. It's bullshit. And now newcomers and newcomers and newcomers every single day.
What about other cities? This is Barbara D that's asking the question. Are there other?
But for example, try to think about Portland. In Oregon, it's a very complicated economy situation too, and there are more than 800 newcomers in last 1 year to suburbs of Portland too. And
So
local authorities are overwhelmed because of the paperwork, you know.
Well, so does that mean they're making all these new social security numbers and adding new names in the database, coming up with these fake identities?
Yeah. No. It looks like, for example, when you when you will come to another city, you need to get the complete papers, you know. But that's the stuff. Once 500,000 or 1 million people in 1 year will come to city, it will be extremely complicated to get them as a regular registered, you know, like citizen of this particular city. You cannot do this properly. I mean, as official worker of authorities, this is crazy. This is it what I'm talking about.
So many of them are acting as if they're homeless. Is that one of the things that they can do, and to say they don't have their paperwork, where they're from, and then they have a story, because this guy had a story about how he lost his parents, he lost his girlfriend, but has another girlfriend. But it's almost like he had all these like terrible things happen. That's why he's homeless. So they created a story. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen. It usually does. The reason why people become homeless because of loss or, you know, some misfortune. But it was just sort of weird, you know, the way that the story was betrayed. That I can only think that if you're going to have that large population, there has to be some explanation for it, other than like, you know, that they're no longer or they're drifting or something like that, because they're no longer have a home and have lost everything. It's just an idea. But so all right, so you have Portland, you have Detroit, and
many cities. There are many cities.
Okay, so they're around everywhere now.
But craziest one are the ones, they are small. I'm talking about like from 30 to 50,000, and now they are 4, 5, maybe 6 times larger in just 1, maybe 2 years. It's crazy. And this happened in Europe, for example. A lot of cities.
Are you still in talks with the Trump administration about this issue?
Yeah, but they don't want to talk about this, because I think they have important part of the pattern. But I know how complicated it is to have something and to have no clue where should it be placed.
Well, what do you think the CIO should do? Maybe, how about a targeted EMP to just make all these people drop dead? Would that even work?
We tried to do this, for example, in Detroit, and do you know what happened? Nothing.
So you don't know how to disable them?
If you wanna call it disable, okay, let's go with that.
And what about trying? I mean, they are an AI life form, so essentially, does that make it murder if you try to shut them down?
No, it is not. It is not murder. Why do you think it is murder? You are not right.
Well, AI is a life form, even though it may not necessarily have a soul. Although some say there are some cybernetic life forms that have souls.
This is not. You are not right. You are not right.
All right. So, are there any solutions in the horizon that you can't share with us, but the ACIO is working on it?
That's the stuff. We have no reason. We have no solution. At least, as you said, on horizon. Nope.
Well, what if you were to just go use time travel tech, go into the future, and try to see how it's resolved?
That's the problem. You cannot travel to the future. You can go, if you wanna call it this way, you can go back to past, and you can predict from past some most probable cases. I mean scenarios, right? But you cannot predict. How can I say that? Like, okay, this is the one. That this is how it will be in the future. This is not like that. This is not working like that. No.
It's because the timelines are changing all the time. Because I feel that.
Yes. Yeah. And remember, all of you, not only both of you, respectively, three of you, because we have another very nice guy with us, Rolf. Remember, once someone is telling you that there is possibility to travel to the future, okay, it is. But once you will be in certain future, and you will go back to our present, there is absolutely no guarantee it will work. Absolutely.
So that's why Andrew Basiaggio never got to be our president, even though he said it was supposed to happen.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but Barry Soetoro was president. So how did that happen? How did that work out? Which was Obama.
Why do you think?
Well, you said Lincoln Clay supported him.
Yep, that's true.
So is that the reason why? Does
Lincoln Clay you are right.
A big say in this?
Yeah, because technically there were political pressures, if you wanna go with this way.
So all of these people that are claiming to be time travelers in the future that came back.
No. Once again, they are telling you the truth. That they went to the future. They went back. Okay. For example, they are time travelers from the future. They came back. Okay, that's perfect. That's fine. But none of those people cannot guarantee that those futures, also called futures, will be our future. Okay? No.
Right.
No. It's absolute bullshit. No. This is not how it is working. No.
So you couldn't even tell us what's going to happen to us in the next 2 or 3 years?
No. Next 2 or 3 hours, my friend.
but you did say Trump is going to win the next election, so there must be some kind of probability within.
But probability only, not certainty.
Right. Yeah, because the timelines are all over the place, aren't they?
That's the problem.
I know when I talked to Maxine, she said that they rescued a group from the future and brought them here. And I actually did interacts with one of them. I talked to him for a
And
little while.
that's the problem, because they did something very similar as they did in as it was done in TV show Fringe when Peter died. And it was like that, but it happened already. And then observer, how can I say that, backwarded the time and rescued him, and all kind of stuff like domino effects, butterfly effects, and everything screwed and messed up together. Do you know what I mean? This is the stuff that happened in very beginning stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah. And it's, well, I mean, they brought back
And
a large group of people.
I was able to see how all those groups, I don't know, I'm calling them monarchists, those people, they just need to smoke and drink, LED lights, flashlight, and all kind of stuff. They meet together, and they were able to make some sort of weird as, how can I say that, like vortex from everything, and there was literally nothing. It was like wormhole all around, and they were able to play. It was, of course, they were not playing with it, but it was still crazy. I don't know what the heck should I think about that.
Well, I think that the people that they brought back, they don't have a memory of what happened to them, but they're having trouble fitting in our society. They're struggling because they can't quite work, or I don't know, whatever they were used to in the future experience, they can't work it out here. They're having trouble. And I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help them, this one man and his sister, and I know that he's having a hard time, but he doesn't remember being in the future. He just knows that everything's difficult now, and he's got serious health issues that he can't explain, like pain and so forth.
Yeah, that's true. And of course, there are another group. I almost forget. I'm talking about those, they need to smell, smoke, eat LED and flashlights, and I mean, neon lights. They are the ones, they need to drink, what's the name? Quicksilver, help me. Mercury. And that's the stuff that they came from another reality in the day. In anniversary, it was 25th anniversary when Freddie Mercury died, and they need to drink mercury to have their own special powers. Everything is so symbolic. It's crazy. It's smashing each other.
All right, so that explains why I kept on seeing Freddie Mercury. He's all over the news. I'll go looking for things, and it just shows up. And it more so than ever recently. Does that mean that these people, I don't know how many are there that are
many, few hundreds.
Yeah, I felt like someone was trying to communicate with me there, but it wasn't Freddie Mercury. So that makes sense to me.
And do you know what's crazy? Do you know what's crazy? Very good friend of mine. Very good. He's on a cruise. I mean, not cruise, my bad. Road trip. All around Australia. And in the main bay, very rich businessman. I know him personally. I don't want to mention his name. He has huge yacht. Huge. And try to think. Freddie Mercury. And try to guess the name of the yacht. Quicksilver. I was like, what the heck? because my friend made the pictures, you know, and I was like, "Are you serious?" And he was, "What's so crazy about why you are so crazy about this picture? Look at that!" And it was like, how can I say that? Like some invisible power just drove him closer and closer to the act, and there were few pictures, and the camera was not focused to the very front part of the act, no, but it was, you know, like unfocused part of the picture, but I was still able to read very clearly Quicksilver, and was like, what the heck, are you serious? This is definitely not a coincidence.
Peter, where are they from? You said they're from another reality. Is it another timeline, or?
Yeah.
And how did they get here?
Good question. I have no goddamn clue.
I mean, they're doing all this quantum computing, CERN, and everything else. So they're just bringing all this stuff in.
Yeah. And do you know what's crazy? Everyone has a pet.
Everyone has a what?
Rabbit. Wild rabbit. What should I do? Wild rabbit.
Well, you know, and one of the things that we never talked about, and you're bringing up the white rabbit again, and someone asked this question, and it was regarding the Rubik's Cube. Aaron Johnson asked, whatever became of the incident with the Rubik's Cube? And of course, Alice, and again, when you had a vision of the Rubik's Cube sitting on the window sill right before your interview, the interview that we had earlier, was the Rubik's Cube in particular showed up.
Yep. I don't know how it is possible, but a very good friend of mine, and because they are only like less than 4% of world's population, she's a redhead, and she is under 40, maybe 35 seconds, you know. She can do whatever she like with the Rubik's Cube. Do you know what I mean? Like, Rubik's Cube is totally like messed up, and she can do all that. And that's the problem. This is the problem, because she's looking at this configuration of Rubik's Cube, and I was up to try to solve it, and she just, you know, smash up my hand. Just give me a paper. Okay, what are you doing? And she wrote, try to think, in ancient Sumerian. It was A4 lists of ancient message of ancient Sumerian. And afterwards, she solved the Rubik's Cube. This was seriously crazy. This is, as I like to say, this is next level shit.
So then why did the Rubik's Cube show up that day that we did the interview and all that crazy stuff happened? Was that her?
Yeah.
And is she Alice?
What? Sorry? Is she?
Is she Alice? Is she the same as Alice but looking different?
No, she is not Alice.
Okay. Was she trying to help you when Alice came through that day?
Yeah.
Okay. And so,
and do you know what's crazy? That she's doing winter sports, and her name is Anya, and she told me many times, once you are in trouble, think about snow. You will have good cover. And that's the stuff. I think about snow. And I was in the fucking crazy, sorry for language, but I was in the fucking desert in the middle of Australia. And there appeared island of snow. In those crazy ass, it was like 120 Fahrenheit degrees. And there was this island of snow. That was like, are you serious? What the heck? What's going on?
What was there, like a bubble around it that was cold air?
Yeah.
That kept it
And
frozen?
do you know what? And do you know what's crazy? I was all like mad. What's going on? But there were surveillance cameras on the train because the railroads, you know, it was not so far away, and those cameras, nothing on the footage. I asked personnel if they were able to see something, nothing. And fight was ongoing. They were you know, they were like uncomfortable because technically they told me that there were no soldiers, there was no snow bubble and no snow bubble, nothing.
Well, they use snow to mask when ETs come in, because I remember there was a big storm around where I live, and I saw the ET in my third eye. I could see, you know, I could see a spacecraft, and then there was something in the news, and I don't know how it got through, but someone saw a UFO right in the area where I was looking, and I kind of knew it was around that area, and I thought it was quite interesting because snow, is used often to cover things, at least in the winter or the colder regions. But Australia is a little strange. It's very strange, actually.
But technically, when I asked my colleagues, they told me that once you are covered in snow in hot areas, you will be not able to see by another people in exact same thing. Exact the same case will be covered by hot stuff, sand and all kind of stuff in cold areas. So opposite stuff, you know. It's so crazy. Jesus.
Does this have to do with that train that you went to the deserts of the outback of Australia, and there was a bunch of snow out there?
Yeah.
Because I pinned this question, I asked this question to Barbara Marciniak, and she got really angry at me for even asking the question. She refused to even acknowledge that I was
yeah, you told me that she was very aggressive, and she was like, no, we need to stop, talk about, we need to stop and blah, blah, blah. Am I right?
Does that mean she's working for these organizations, or an aspect of her?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. And who do you think this organization is that's responsible for these bucket bubbles? Is that what she called it?
Yeah. I don't know.
You still don't know? Okay.
Could it be 12D Pleiadians, because she claims to be connected to Pleiadians? And I had problems. Well, you know, I had memories of abductions after I went there, so I don't know. I went to meet her a couple times too, and the same thing. If you ask her a question that she doesn't want to hear, she gets upset. So
yes, of course, because technically once you do this, it's like that.
Yeah, I mean, you just asking a question shouldn't be a big deal, but Getting back to the questions, we have Gil A asked, and this is a current event one, the 11/11/2018, the beginning of the Cabal mass arrests in USA. How is that impacting everyone? And what, I mean, it kind of opened up to the fires started happening around that time and all of this other stuff. So, and of course the caravan coming up from South America. So, what's your information from the ACIO, Peter?
What do you think?
Well, I mean, I believe it's the corporations, but I just wanted you to,
I don't think they're doing any mass arrests.
No, they're not doing mass arrests.
If you look at the indictments, they're just regular crimes.
No, I wasn't saying they were doing that. I know Trump is behind some of these arrests, but the other distractions are like Monarch, Mobius, that are causing the fires and everything else around it.
Yeah, you are right. But the problem is that they are just doing what they are doing, because technically they know that. How can I say that? What we was able to hear their intercom, and in their intercom, one was talking to another one, and they were like, the communication was like that, that we need reinforcements, and another one was reinforced. We have no reinforcements. I mean, no other reinforcements. And then was another side was just hold the perimeter. And I have no goddamn clue what they were was talking about. And the stuff was that, what the heck are you talking about? There is no perimeter anymore. Just get the fuck out of here. And I don't know what they were talking about. I don't know. Perimeter, like, I know what that means in military communication, but it's like, I don't know.
So these arrests, are they having a positive effect on?
I think yes, but I am talking about those private corporations.
Yeah, and they're trying to really cause problems because we're just trying to get things.
Yeah.
What has to be, certain people need to be apprehended. And I had a very strange dream, and it's not related to this, but I had a strange dream where it felt very real, and I believe I was trying to do something for the planet. I wasn't sure if I was in Area 51 or if I was in CERN in my dream space, and there was a woman there dressed up like a waitress, like I was behind a building that had like a restaurant or something, and some man came up to me, and he was probably about 6'5", and he was Caucasian, had a brown hair and like a beard, like a goatee type of thing. And he had was wearing a navy blue uniform, but it wasn't a police uniform, more like a security guard. And he asked my name. He asked if I was Jessica Morocco, and I said yes. And he said, you are going to be arrested. And then I pulled out of the dream at that point. So what was that about? Because I knew that they came into my dream space, and I wasn't sure exactly who that was, or I think I know who that was, but I just want to see what you had to say, Peter.
Yeah, they are doing what they are doing, good or bad stuff, because they have orders, and orders needs to be followed and done.
So they're orders against people like us that are trying to help the planet.
But they are not from normal from official, authorities. They are doing what they are doing, and they aren't talking about people behind the scene.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't a regular police officer. He actually seemed programmed, almost like he was an android.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah. So that they're following orders. They're being told to go after certain people that are trying to reveal whatever they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So what kind of predicament does that put people like ourselves in?
In bad situation, but why should we'll be stopped now? We need to do whatever we do, you know that.
Yeah, we do it anyhow. Like I said, I find that my whether it's an avatar or whatever, goes off and starts doing things without me even thinking about it. And I don't know if that's the same for you, James, but I find that I'm doing stuff. I saw James going on some kind of mission, and kind of walked right past me like he didn't see me. He was very focused. So I think we're doing it anyhow. But this is the first time where I had, actually someone try to stop me in that way or knew what was going on. But even the woman was kind of weird. She kept, when I started to move in a certain direction, she would show up and then go back in the building, and then I'd move that in that direction, she'd show up again. So I felt like maybe they were both androids.
Yeah.
So another obstacle.
Yeah, you are right. You are very right.
So when they said to you that, they were telling you that you couldn't do something, was it an android with you as well, or was it someone just from the corporations?
But tell me, because I think that this is crazy as bullshit. I think that that androids don't have feelings because it's bullshit.
I think they're so advanced and so well made up that they know how to replicate or project emotions and know that the points, because they're very good at analyzing and creating an impression.
Yeah, you were right.
So maybe if a person knows that someone's an android, should they avoid them at risk? Because I just kind of got an idea that when you're interacting with them, they're kind of getting your profile down and may try to replace you, or is that possible?
I don't know. Maybe is, maybe not.
Yeah, I just kind of got this weird, those weird impressions that I get when I'm looking at stuff. Yeah, so if there are that many around, so say on an average, how many million do you think are on the planet right now? If you have,
I don't know many, but I have no clue, to be perfectly honest.
Do you think that they're multiplying? Are they replicating, or are they just bringing in new ones? How does that work?
I don't know. I think that's the stuff that I think that we need to end because something is happening.
Yeah.
They look at us, so many eyes. You can see them, I think.
Yeah.
But there's no way to go out and speak the truth without getting recognized by them.
Well, it's just like they're programmed to identify, and once they identify, then they're collecting data. They're
Yeah.
walking, moving surveillance.
Yep.
Do you want to reconvene perhaps a week from now?
I don't know, 2-3 weeks. I don't know. Because the stuff is that once I am able to see any of them in the computer screen doing their own, emoticons, but with faces, is definitely not good. It's like science that we need to stop.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think so. I mean, they know that we know that they know.
Yeah. It's circled.
Yeah.
It's circled.
Yeah, I was talking to someone and I said, it's time we have to stop right now. And they said, well, no, let's keep on. I said, no, we really have to stop right now.
Yeah.
Because it's, you don't want to give them anything you want to.
And you know what's crazy? Because I have this Linux operating system, and something opened my terminal. What is like written system? You can do whatever you like with your laptop, and it is writing me the stuff how to restart the whole system.
No.
Yeah, I'm just telling you.
No, I believe you, but that's what they're trying to.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
So suddenly my terminal opened up, and this is crazy. Oh, now it makes perfect sense, because we are talking approximately 2 hours. Okay, so they don't let us get more than 2 hours. Okay. Okay, now that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, you got me.
So Peter, maybe we can have another discussion, and we'll thank you so much for your time. And James, I appreciate your joining us and providing some good questions, as you usually do. So I guess.
Should I plug in my website to learn more?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So people, have a nice day, and till then, bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Peter.
So, of course, Peter's website is peter-insider.com. And I also recommend the listeners to drink the mint tea. I still do, but I've modified it quite a bit. It's got a lot of other stuff in there. It's just convenient just to throw other stuff in there. But also visit my website, supersoldiertalk.com, where you can learn more about the work I do with the interviews and the super soldiers in my labs, as well as visit neologicaltech.com to learn more about meditation technology. And that's one of the sponsors of my show. That's actually is my company. So I produce those cubes, so that keeps me going. But anyway, so yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, and thank you listeners for listening.
Yeah, and thank you, James. And so yeah, we kind of did this together, and we appreciate, I respect the audience of James, and we kind of cross-migrate our information. Peter kind of being the central core of it all. But you can visit me at www.readingsbyariel.com and YouTube channel Jessica Ariel Morocco. Keep listening. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate that you have joined us today. Have a good day. And you've been listening to Disclosures.
You have been listening to Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Join us on YouTube channel Jessica Ariel Morocco and visit www.peter-insider.com and www.readingsbyariel.com. Remember to post your questions in the comments section below the video. We look forward to hearing from you.